I love you, Josh Groban. Okay, hi. I realized that in my last video, I didn't really introduce myself in a meaningful way. Someone told me that I wasted 3 minutes of their lives, and I thought that was the greatest compliment I could ever get. I thought I could take this opportunity to introduce myself in a meaningful way because I want to tell you guys a story, a very interesting story. The story of how the fuck did I get to China. Let me introduce myself. Most people call me Jeff, so you can call me Jeff as well. I am 24 years old. I'm from Canada, specifically Quebec. I am a recent university graduate. I recently graduated McGill University in Montreal, so I am a fresh graduate looking for answers. This is the background and the information you need to understand how I got here. So let me make a scene, put the scene, make the whatever. Let me set the scene. Can you believe I'm an English teacher? I can't. This started all the way back in May, so I was done with final exams. I had nothing else to do school-wise. I had to think of my next move, and I was just freaking out because I thought I would get a job at the university, but I never got called back, which was very rude on their part. I didn't get anything, so I ended up being in May, freshly out of university with no job prospects. So I was freaking out, as I'm known to do. And I was sending CVs left and right. I was sending applications online. LinkedIn was becoming my best friend. Like, I was on LinkedIn every day looking for jobs, and nothing really landed. So I was kind of, stressed. But in the meantime, if you know me, you know that I love dating applications. I have so many good stories about dating apps. I'll tell you guys another time. But this is about Tinder. Because, as you can tell from the title of this video, I did find my job on Tinder. Yes, this is true, and yes, this is my life. The moral of this story is, it pays to be a hoe. Trust. So I was on Tinder, swiping left, swiping right, north, south, up, down, whatever you do on Tinder. So I found him, get a match, start talking, totally casual. And he's a nice boy. I don't really have any interest in him, but he's a nice person, so, might as well. I didn't have anything to do, because all I was doing was looking for jobs and panicking. We keep talking, he's a nice boy, and I'm a nice boy. And then he mentions, and then we ask each other about what you're doing, what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm doing blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then he's like, what do you do? I told him, well, I'm looking for a job right now. Honestly, that's what I'm doing. And then he's like, oh, have you ever thought of teaching English in China? And I was like, not really. Full disclosure, I had no plans of teaching in China, like until 6 months ago. Basically a month before I left. I didn't have any plans because I didn't think that I would want to do that, or I didn't think I was like, it's gonna be expensive, all this stuff, right? So he was like, do you think you would do that? And I was like, don't really want to do it. I kind of want to stay in Montreal. I don't think I want to go abroad. But then I was like, hey, I don't have any prospects right now, so might as well get some information. Get the tea, as the kids say. So I was like, he was doing some summer classes, and I was like, okay, let's meet up after your classes. Let's casually meet up at 3:30 p.m. So the day arrived, we were about to meet, and part of me didn't even want to go. I was like, should I just ditch the guy? Because I had no interest in the guy, like, at all. But he was nice. So I thought, hey, might as well go. But a part of me was like, I'm just lazy. I just don't want to go. You know, like sometimes you're just like, you don't want to fuck with these boys. So I thought I was not gonna go. I went anyway. And then we met, and then we just like had a little snack, and then he just talked about his life in China, like because he was teaching there during the summer, so he went back to China to teach English at that school, at the school I'm here now. So he was like telling me all about the life there, blah 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 blah, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, you know. I've always wanted to, you know, like improve my Chinese because my Chinese is, you know, it's okay, but it's not amazing or anything. And I thought, well, you know, I could go there and improve my Chinese. We walked around, we ate, you know, we talked. He's a nice boy. He's painfully normal. We left, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna think about it. I met him, and then after that, I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. But then he, the very next day, the principal of the school adds me on WeChat, and then she's like, oh, are you interested, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, I need to think about it, you know, it's a big commitment. It's like going across the fucking globe, and it's a lot of paperwork, so I'm still thinking about it, girl. And she was very pushy, and I was like, girl, no, if I'm gonna come, I'm gonna let you know. I was like kind of put off by this attitude. I was like, she's a bit crazy. At the end of the day, I was just not really feeling it. But when more and more refusals were coming from jobs I was applying to, and nothing seemed to be looking up, I was like, shit. So I arranged another meeting with the guy. We met after his class, I think, and then we just talked only about the job because I was full of questions. And he answered all of them. They pay your rent. They will pay you like the flight in China. They pay you a good salary, so you don't have to worry about anything. And I was like, okay, that seems really interesting. You know, the prospect of saving money was very interesting to me. I thought, okay, let's do this shit. In the middle of May, I told the principal that I was coming, and then that started a whole fucking process, a whole shit show, by the way, because nothing is clear ever on the websites. So, it wasn't a very interesting time, but basically, if you can get anything out of this video, is that it pays to be a hoe. If you want to get a job, go on Tinder. My life is weird sometimes. What can I say? All in all, I hope you enjoy this story time. It's not that exciting, but I do think the fact that I found my job on Tinder quite deserves a story, because most people don't know this about me, that I found my job on Tinder, like a very serious adult job that I'm making money off of, and that took me across the world. On that note, I think I will let you go. You probably want to watch something actually interesting. Play me out, Josh Groban. He's not here. Okay, bye. God, drinking all that beer was not a good idea.